Hi everyone, Morgie Roy here again. I have a new mic, so please tell me if you can suggest any settings for me to make myself sound crystal clear, because that's always a concern for me. I want my mic quality to be good, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is how to make your GM feel appreciated. GMs have to work really hard to make the stories that they make and to make your adventure with your friends, all fighting a big bad evil guy, feel memorable. And when you can give them a break, you should. So here's some suggestions that you can do. First things first, when you're making a character, please give them a backstory with a little bit of mysteries, a little bit of hooks here and there that you as a player may not know the answers to. GMs love that because it gives them something that they can work with in the story. Another thing that you can do is when you are playing in person is that you can provide them with snacks. Find out what your GM's favorite snack is. They love snacks. I love snacks. And sometimes we have a lot going on, especially if they're running the game from our house and we don't always think of snacks. Give them one less thing to think about on game day. Is if you provide the snacks, they love it. Another thing you can do is make sure that you are including quieter players in your RP, so it doesn't always fall on the GM to do it. Make sure that you are asking them questions. Ask them about their backstory. Get them talking. It's fine if some players don't want to play like that, but if they are players that like to RP and they're a little shy, another player can engage them in conversation, and it takes a lot of weight off the GM to make sure that everybody is being included. Have sessions where you just do RP. Have sessions where it's just the group of you doing something silly. And it gives the GM a little bit of prep time to plan the next thing. Or if they're not planning it, to make sure that the next thing is even more polished. It just takes the weight off them a little bit. And most GMs love it when their players are engaging with the world together. Let your GM know when you're going to do this. Like, hey GM, we're going to go check out that cool place you mentioned earlier last session. We're going to go to this place that looked interesting, so that they know what to expect, but it gives all the players a chance to get to know each other better. It gives the characters a chance to get to know each other better, and it takes a little bit of weight off the GM for planning combat or planning story encounters. Another thing that you can do to help out your GM or make your GM's life a little bit better, take notes. You don't have to take incredible notes. I take stupidly detailed notes, but that's me. That's the way my brain works. I take notes step by step of what we did. But if you just take notes of like names of people you meet, things that are talked about that seem important, that's enough. Because when something that they've mentioned 8 sessions ago pops back up again, and you're like, oh, I know what that is, your GM's going to feel amazing. And another thing that I can suggest, tell your GM that they did a good job that session. If your GM asks for feedback, give them constructive feedback. Give them something that you loved, something that you want improved. If you say nothing and something is bothering you, they're not going to know to fix it. And it's going to fester, or it's going to be an issue later. So tell your GM, thank you for running the session. Here's something that I thought maybe we could do better next time. Unless your GM is amazing, like mine, and they know exactly how to run a session that works for all your players, that's great. But if it's a new GM and they're still learning, and they ask for feedback about what could improve your experience, let them know. They want to know. They want to improve. It's a skill. And if you're too polite, if you don't tell them, they're not going to know to get better at something. So please thank them for running the session. Tell them what you loved about the session, but if they ask for feedback, don't be afraid to give it. That's what they want, or they wouldn't have asked. And finally, this is the biggest one. Try to show up for sessions. And if you can't show up for sessions, make sure you let your GM know ahead of time. People not showing up without warning is the #1 mood killer for a session, because then the GM doesn't know whether to run a normal session or run something else, and then they have to plan something else advanced. And this is all something that you can discuss in session 0, but things do happen. Emergencies are not included in this. This is if you get called into work or something like that. But please just let your GM know before the session begins, because it really takes the wind out of our sails if someone can't make it to a session, but they only found out about it a minute before the session started. Are they going to play it without you? Are they going to run something else? Are you going to have a game night or a watch along night? But having that little extra bit of time, even an hour of warning, to fix what they need to fix, to make the session more enjoyable for everybody who can be there. And obviously things happen. This isn't a blaming thing. Just try to make your GM's life a little easier in that regard. Just give them a heads up that you're not going to be able to make a session. And that's it. Really, it's not that hard to make your GM's job a little bit easier. They just want to be able to run the game, and they want you to have a good time. That is their number one thing that they want. Because that's the point of the game, is that everyone is having a good time. Everybody's enjoying themselves. So, those are my suggestions. If you have any more, please post them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye!